I got artists right now. When I believed in them to the point that I did, and they gave me their ass to kiss and got mad because I stopped, and they want to know why I don't call them anymore. It's because you broke my heart, bro. Because every time I've told you what needs to happen, you gave me your ass to kiss. On the other side of the mentor-mentee relationship is the mentor who believes in you to the point where he's going all in, and you break his heart. Like, you don't come. ESSO didn't come back from all the people who broke his heart, getting personally involved with it because you have a stake in their success.
And can I say this one thing?
Nah, in hindsight, don't. You can't really turn to me because I look at shit like it all happened for a reason, and because of all this shit, I'm now wiser and smarter, and I make better decisions.
No, I'm not. I wasn't gonna go in that direction. I'm talking about Math is a success story of somebody who might have. If anybody managed him or anybody had a hand, Clark Kent was here sitting in that exact same seat. Clark Kent couldn't have been more proud of dude. Couldn't have been more proud. Pulled up just because he was proud. Shout out to Clark Kent. Clark Kent don't do shit with nobody. Came through here because of how proud he was from Math, going from Math to Math Hoffa. That's the positive side of a mentor. I could see, yo, bro, when I tell you, sitting where I was sitting watching Clark Kent like just get so full, I was damn near like as close as you can get to jealous. I want that moment. I've wanted that moment for so many artists that I've dealt with.
Right.
And I've watched them fuck it up and couldn't stop nothing. And then they turn around and ask me how
they
come
dead?
It's
heartbreaking.
they're not dead.
So you see the story ain't over.
It's heartbreaking, but
the story ain't over. Because there's a lot of people that could be like, yeah, I went to Math and Math was like, man, fuck you, man.
Listen. In the context of mentorship, it's heartbreaking when it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's a two-way street and it's a responsibility, but it's one of those things that you can't allow the bad things that will come from it. It's just par for the course.
I'm still at it.
You can't allow the bad things that come from it to change you into one of the bad people.
I'm still at it.
But you're in the streets and you got the bag and you give somebody the bag in good faith and they run off on you. You don't become the person who runs off on people.
Nah, I'm still at it.
You know what I mean? Like if you're a stand-up guy, you're just a stand-up guy.
Shout out to Petty, shout out to Old Henny Savant, shout out to Shot Summers.
If you in the streets and you doing crime, you know, like and you go down, somebody snitch on you, you do some time and you come back out and you feel like I stood on business, you don't turn around and become a rat and use that as an excuse.
Right.
Yo, these niggas be ratting. I'm tired of that shit. What's gonna happen when a nigga rat on me? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just one of those things. You stand on it or you don't.
Right.
But I think it has to be the people who have enough foresight to understand that when you have somebody that's young and talented, they're usually always gonna be high risk. So you're gonna be taking a chance on them. You know, like in life as individuals. You know with your relationship and in business. And at what point when do we stop just giving up on the next generation because they're doing stupid shit? And because we grew from doing stupid shit and we don't really remember that well how stupid we used to be.
Right.
Because we evolved. But when do we stop? Because it's about understanding, right? When do we stop? Like, when T Grizzly made the comments that he made about me and about Marshall and Sada was saying the shit that he was saying about Sada, yo, man, we were well within our right to give them pushback, to dispute it, to argue, to tell them they not right. We knew that they weren't right, but I also knew that it wasn't coming from a fucked up place. It was just coming from a place of, for lack of a better term, ignorance.
Right.
It was coming from a place of them being brand new, them being left to their assumptions because they don't see us pulling up a whole lot. So they're assuming that we think in a certain way. They're assuming. So to me, it's our job as OGs to make that better.
Right.
To take the steps to instruct them, to advise them, and to make them feel embraced. It's our job to do the embracing. You know what I'm saying? Like just like the situation that just happened with Conway and Flex. Yo, that's a Flex problem, period. Like Conway may not have handled it the greatest, but Conway handled it how new artists handle shit. You know what I mean? So when do we stop punishing people for crying out, or expressing the issues that they have? Because along with that legendary status comes a responsibility.
I got two things to say about that. One, Flex reached out to Conway. I guess he sent them a beat in his defense, and he dropped bombs on it, played it on the radio and all that stuff. So they good. When I spoke to Conway, he said, we good.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? So shout out to Flex for that. I think the other thing that we're having this conversation about young talent, but a lot of the things that they need mentorship on are kind of things that when you become an adult, you don't think that way anymore. So why aren't there more artists that's mature being put out there? Why aren't we picking up artists that's like dumb nice and like 40 something and pushing that out? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't we working with people who know better than this shit?
Well, why isn't that happening? Because what Conway did doesn't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't hurt Flex's position. You know what I mean? Like, when Flex starts to go public and defend his position, it's just an unnecessary thing to do, in my opinion. In my opinion, somebody like Flex, he has an unfuckwittable position. You can't remove him from anything. You can't fire him from anything. He's Funk Master Flex.
Right.
Along with that title comes a responsibility. You have a responsibility to the people who come after you. We can't keep calling each other OGs just because we've been in the game for a lengthy amount of time. That's something that has to be earned over time, you know, and along with earning that title in that position, you have to be more understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand where that person is coming from, and you got to be willing to brush a few things off. And when you embrace them, like how I embraced T Grizzly went off on me. But when I got him on the phone, it was like I was talking to my long lost cousin from Detroit. Because when you embrace people and you understand their position, that's disarming, because they armed and they ready for combat, because that's what they think this shit is. They think everybody is their enemy. They think every OG is against them. Every OG DJ who not playing their shit, oh man, y'all niggas is against us. You know, and it's like Flex has a responsibility too. He in a tough position too, having to delegate all of that shit. But that's what being a legend is. That's what the job is. That's what it entails. And you can do it. He can do it however he wants to do it. That's his right too.
Right.
I can't judge him on that, because I'm always just gonna look at him like what he is, an OG fucking legend, icon.
Right.
Nothing he ever do, it can change that. But when I look at those kinds of scenarios, I just think of who it affects when these scenarios occur. It affects us. You know what I mean? When Griselda, niggas who came from the mud in Buffalo didn't even really exist in the music industry since fucking Rick James. They come out of the mud in Buffalo at a time where everybody is singing, dancing, and fucking doing, you know, drill rap or whatever.
Right.
And they come with this vintage Wu-Tang kind of fucking, you know, hybrid sound of just refreshing ass niggas.
Right.
And they just go on a run. Like, if I'm Flex, I don't have to like it. Like, if I don't like it, the least I'm gonna do is make sure that I don't get on public platforms and go out of my way to say why I don't like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I would understand the importance of why it's important that they exist and why it's important that they get support from the OGs. He may not be able to play everything on his show that they do. But when they cry out like that, I keep saying cry out, when they express themselves in a brazen type of fashion like that, I just think that's an opportunity for a guy like Flex to reach out.
How many shots are OGs obligated to take?
Yeah, because after a while, it's like, come on now, y'all just don't understand what's going on.
Well,
I have a 2-hour conversation.
Look at Hov, man. Hov is like Jesus hanging from the fucking cross, being stoned every day. Yo, man, that's the price you pay to be Hov, bro.
I'm not talking about Hov. I'm talking about...
When you said OGs, I took it to the top of the food chain.
Okay, so work your way down, because some of us, Hov has had those moments that you're talking about that still make it worth it. Dr. Dre has had those moments you spoke on that make it worth it. Marshall 50, he's had M 50, Snoop. He's had those moments that make it worth it. As an OG, how many times do you hear from the same person constant, non-stop attacks to the point where you don't pick the phone up no more? Like, when is enough enough? Because I hear the responsibility on this end, and I embrace that. I get that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Got some silvers in my chin. I'm supposed to do that. I get that.
Yeah.
How many times before? Nah.
Yeah, to quote Nas on Woo for the Children, he said that brother that you think has a whole lot of pull probably already tried to pull his brothers up and got betrayed, got played, now he balanced his challenges trying to keep himself paid. Like, it's not these guys' responsibility.
No.
We don't have to. If that's your path, the
responsibility. Let me make sure I'm clear because I use a lot of words. The responsibility that I'm talking about with Flex in particular, as a DJ, as an icon, legend DJ who has a secure spot on Hot 97, he has a responsibility to the youth, to the guys that come after him, to make sure that he closes. You said it. You said he ended up reaching out to him, and they ended up making it right.
Right.
What I'm saying is, next time, do that without the whole public bashing.
But it's entertainment, Royce.
No.
That's entertainment ratings, Royce.
Listen, who's being entertained?
The audience. His people, when they tuning in on Thursday to hear the
just looking at the bigger picture, there were more people listening when Conway's record played. There were more people listening because of the back and forth.
Yes.
You feel like Funk Flex needs controversy?
Yes.
I feel like it doesn't hurt.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying there were more people listening when he finally played the record, and that was due to how it played out. And you can't expect people I don't know you, you don't know me, you talking about me, I don't know, bro.
Look. It's Hoffa. Trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.